Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about learning theories, including behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism, meaningful reception learning, and schema theory. At the same time, I will focus on how these theories enlighten our teaching. Okay, let's start. Behaviorism. Program instruction is based on Skinner's operant conditioning. It is a method of presenting new subject matters for students in a graded sequence of controlled steps. First, according to program instruction, the textbooks are divided into small frames and small steps, and each frame has its own goals. Learners could achieve their goals through certain learning procedures. Second, students walk through the program material by themselves at their own speed. After each step, we can test their comprehension by answering an examination question or filling in a diagram. They are then immediately shown the correct answer or given additional information. Third, instruction is self-paced, and learners are required to be active by completing exercises and tests, and proceeding based on feedback from the instruction. The learning essence of behaviorism is the change of the external behavior caused by the environment. Impacts on teaching are that the desired results could be achieved through controlling the learning environment. While the main measures of control learning include present stimulus, provide practice, feedback, and reinforcement, such as strengthening the correct response. For example, a child may learn to open a box to get a candy inside or learn to avoid touching the hot stove. In cognitive psychology, learning is conceptualized as the acquisition of knowledge. The learner is an information processor who absorbs information, undertakes cognitive operations on it, and stores it in memory. In the design of computer-aided instruction, people began to pay attention to the internal psychology process of learners, and then began to study and emphasize the learner's psychology characteristics and cognitive structures. Besides, educators no longer regard learning as the learner's passive response to external stimuli, but consider learning as involving attitudes, needs, interests, hobbies, and cognitive structures. What's more, the teacher's task is to try to arouse the learner's interest and motivation, and then combine the current teaching content with the original knowledge and experience of the learners. Constructivism. According to constructivism, teachers should not teach in the traditional way, but should encourage students to cooperate or interact with peers. Students should process information and construct the meaning of knowledge actively, rather than listen to teachers passively. Hence, during our teaching, we need to pay attention to the design of the learning scenario. The teacher should design multidimensional learning scenarios so that learners can understand the concept of principles from various aspects, and then develop problem-solving, decision-making, and innovation capabilities. Besides, emphasize the learner's active role, focus on cultivating students' self-management skills to stimulate the necessary psychological state and prior knowledge for learning. Finally, pay attention to the contribution of the error concept to learning. Situated cognition theory treats the aim and process as unity. Therefore, even the erroneous concept being produced in the process of learning also has a positive contribution to the construction of the whole knowledge structure. Meaningful reception learning. The theoretical point of view of Osbear is based on the acceptance of learning meaningfully, not passively and mechanically. If we want to assess whether the students have done meaningful learning, we should see if after learning they can classify and specify. Besides, teacher education is intended to create an environment that will enable students to learn well, rather than just teaching them the knowledge. The teacher should explain clearly and well organized the relationship between the new knowledge and the cognitive structure of the student so as to facilitate learning. Schema theory. Here are some instructional implications. Activate prior knowledge using advanced organizers and schema signals. Make instructional materials meaningful with comparative organizers and elaboration. Use thought-demanding activities to promote skillful use of mental models. Provide new contexts and examples to apply prior knowledge. We make use of educational technologies while trying to achieve meaningful learning in the learning stages. In general, technology and applications help us to add new information to the schemas we have. For example, there are some applications for kids to learn about animals. First, a cat picture appears, and the kid learns it. Then, other animals appear like a cow, dog, lion. Thus, the child provides learning by creating new schemas or expanding existing schemas. Many applications, such as these applications, benefit from meaningful learning.